Hey everyone, today I've got your Aquaman movie review. Aquaman shall be made fun of no more. Is this movie putting the DCU back on track to success? So as far as the story goes, James Wan directs this deep-sea adventure from DC where Arthur Curry grows up to learn that he has to take up the throne of Atlantis and become king. This was one of my most anticipated movies, and of course I loved when Jason Momoa was cast as Aquaman since Batman v Superman, and then I loved seeing his character transform even more in Justice League, even though that movie didn't exactly turn out the way I wanted it to. So now seeing this movie, obviously there are going to be a lot of high hopes because DC has been given so many chances to put out at least another successful live-action movie a part of their universe. Here, I was not disappointed, at least for the most part. I loved seeing the evolution of Arthur Curry from being a baby to a toddler, and then to a child, and then to a teenager, and then fully grown Jason Momoa adult version. This movie as a whole turned out to be this epic adventure that I felt like was on scale of Lord of the Rings meets Tron Legacy and Avatar. You could really see James Wan's directing style transform into this movie into something we've never seen before, and obviously I've been a fan of his since, he's always taken his turn in the horror genre, and now I feel like I could see him pulling this off, so great job, James. As far as the casting goes, you've got Jason Momoa, who I really loved seeing in this movie. I feel like he's perfect as Aquaman, and he's got a personality that I feel like really puts a new spin on this character that was pretty much mocked in the comic book world. Now we get to see him basically take on the seas, and he doesn't do it alone, even though I could probably go a whole movie with just seeing Jason Momoa. So he's got Amber Heard with him, who almost steals the show with her role of Mera, and she had a lot of really cool abilities added to her character that I felt like really stood out to me. Patrick Wilson, who's obviously worked with James Wan in the past, plays King Orm, aka Ocean Master, and he really impresses me with his dialogue and just his persona and his charisma on screen. And I think he truly stands out to be this more villainous character. Willem Dafoe as Vulko was also a nice treat to see because I think he's such a talented actor. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who plays Black Manta, he was okay. I did see, especially in the beginning of the movie, his motivations for being the villain Black Manta, but I really didn't get to see a whole lot of him to truly feel like his character was fleshed out to the full extent. But then you've also got Nicole Kidman, who plays Queen Atlanta, and I thought she was pretty nice to see in the scenes that she was in. The things that I liked about this movie was obviously the spectacular CGI that I, almost had to be nitpicky about when I saw the trailers, but I just think it blew my mind with the animation just being underwater and the way that they shot those scenes. I thought it was just really well done. At least James Wan knew that, the way he's like this master craftsman, he made sure to pay attention to every little detail, and it was just so beautiful to look at. And the action and the stunt scenes were also pretty cool to watch as well, and the camera work was something I could tell, James Wan definitely put his stamp of approval on that. And even the musical score, which I thought was obviously perfect for a comic book movie like this, was also pretty nice. And even by the third act of the film, it was impressive because it hits you with one scene after another, and it just gets crazier by the end. So I just really loved every minute of this movie. But unfortunately, the things that I didn't really like about this movie was that some of the pacing felt rushed, and you know, it was cool to see how they delved into, you know, the origin of Arthur Curry, but I felt like it could have been handled just a tad better. And even some of the comedy felt forced. I mean, I know that they were going with a more lighter tone with this film, unlike what we've seen with DC in the past. And I feel like ever since Justice League, they've been wanting to go with this more lighter tone. And that could also go along with the way that the script was written, even though I did laugh a couple times watching this movie. It felt like a different type of DC movie, but definitely headed in the right direction. So we're getting there. So overall, I would say that this movie was still pretty impressive. It's definitely not one to miss. So even if you're not a huge comic book movie fan, this is a movie you gotta check out this holiday season, and especially on the biggest screen possible. It really gave me everything I could ask for and then some. So I would highly recommend seeing this movie, and I would give this 4.5 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Aquaman. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates coming every week for a Trial Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you guys later.